Alright, so I'm going to do a little pinstripe on this aluminum tattoo machine cutout. What I did was engraved, I think what might be one of my favorite pictures of all time. Johnny Cash giving the finger. It's overused, but it's still really cool. So we're going to start today with a little of this light blue. Really dig how this blue looks on the black, so should be pretty awesome. Okay. Sort of getting this worked into the brush as usual. And we're just going to go again, freehand, right? Some things on there I don't really like, little dusts, but alright, let's do it. First we need a nice center line, as usual. That's what everything goes off of. So we'll pull the quick one, dip it. Gonna have to do a little straightening out there because brush it right out. And that's it. We start building from here. Pretty dry in here. We'll add a little bit more of the chroma flow. We got a little bit of a wobble. That's what's great about doing this, is you really get used to adapting as you go. So you kind of just work with what you end up getting. Very dry today. I'm not really talking that much today. Some days you just don't feel like talking. So let's go back in here. I got a wobble that really annoys me. So I'm going to fatten this out right here. Kind of straighten it out a little bit. This is the big thing about this, is being able to adapt as you go. I mean, a lot of people like to pretend that they're perfect. This is what's cool about this. This is like hand done human interaction with a bunch of different things. Paint, the metal. If you're out striping in person, you're dealing with people. So you need to be able to adapt to what's going on. And I think the people who do the best at this are the people who are the best at adapting. I mean, at the end of the day, it is what it is, right? You're saying it's art, which usually leads people to believe that what you're doing is art. Yeah, see? All of a sudden it's starting to look super cool. I'll go up here and I want to fill this out a little bit. That's why nothing doesn't really matter. Whatever you do is cool. As long as you have those skills down, your money. It's the reason why we work so hard to gain these skills. Right, probably started a little bit too fast today, so that's why I got that wobble. A little bit of ego going or something today. We're more worried about the fact that I didn't have anything to say since I'm recording this. And in reality, well, what do we find out? End up finding out that talk is cheap. Right? Too much talking nowadays. That's looking relatively dope. What else shall we do right here? I want to do like a cool little hot rod pinstripe pull-offs. This is the same thing as normal, right? I believe it's 080 aluminum, plasma cut, painted the normal flat black, laser engraved the image, and then go to town with the stripe brush. Let's clean out the brush. Regular paint thinner. Back into the flow. Chroma flow works. I find it works the best. There's people that use other like thinning agents, I guess. But I guess the only issue that I would say with the chroma flow is it really kind of slows down the drawing time. And that's probably why it's called something to do with flow, right? So really pull some nice lines with it. All right, so what are we doing here? So that's the thing. The more you do this, the more you get comfortable with how you're going to lay something out. You end up not really thinking. You just kind of go. Right? And that's really the coolest part of pinstriping in general. That you start out with nothing. And you end up looking like you had a plan the whole time. And I'm pretty sure there's some people who actually plan it, but I don't. Alright, so I went a little bit higher, so I have to bring this a little bit higher to even it out. I don't know. Why don't you comment below if you plan out your stripes, or you're just kind of free. That'd be interesting to know if what I'm doing is kind of ridiculous. In my head, this is like the only way that I could really do it. I don't know if I could plan because there's so many variables. And I guess that's the way I kind of built my business. That, you know, I kind of am like an artist. I do what comes to mind versus anything that's planned. I see some people like set up and they have like all these pre-planned, like a menu basically of stripe designs. And I guess I always thought that was not as custom as what we're supposed to be doing. Kind of designs don't fit on everything the same, and didn't seem very one-off, right? And a lot of people that I have always dealt with like the fact that you just kind of go. Seems like it makes more sense to just go. You know, of course, I guess stuff ends up looking similar because you have a certain hand or a certain style, but I don't know. I found that people, i.e. customers, gravitate to you because of your ability to just go without much of a plan. I feel like they kind of dig that a little bit more. So I have no plan on here for sure. And I'm even kind of breaking some of my own rules today. Like I'm just kind of ending lines where they intersect. But man, it's actually looking really cool. This is cool. And this is what you end up doing is this is how you break out your style. right? Every time you do something different than you're used to, you end up adjusting your style. And that usually leads to something kind of cool. Or at least something unique. I guess that's the biggest thing. The reason why I was attracted to like the custom culture type of stuff, hot rods and bikes, is it was always like a unique individualism. Sure, certain groups of friends have the same kind of cars or the same colors, or but within that clique, I guess you could say, is everybody's unique flavor of it. And that's what I've always found really interesting, is an ability to fit in while you don't fit in. So you're fitting in with a group of folks, and you're still doing an individual thing. And I don't really know if there's many other options in life to be able to do that. So there, we got some blues. Now if you bear with me for a second, I need some ivory today. This thing's calling for ivory for some reason. Stir it up. I use a screwdriver. So the ivory is a little bit, it's a little bit like a tanny color, but I think, yeah, it doesn't look very ivory today. But you can't always be doing the same thing. Right? How much white and freaking red and how much of that can you do? Maybe I'll leave the brush just a little bit dirty. And that way we'll maybe tint this over just a little bit to more of the, oh, I got some paint on my finger. Hold on, so I don't end up tracking it onto the spots I don't want it. Yeah, it's a little bit, man, I remember it being a little bit more white than this is. But see, by leaving the brush dirty, I'm basically making like an awkward, almost like a minty green, which would definitely do what I'm trying to do. See some spots in here that I really want to kind of pop out, right? So I'm trying to figure out where I should do that. I want to get some of the extra paint off my brush real quick. We really need like really thin so we don't pull all this other blue in with it. So I'm going to go like here. See, and at this point, I don't see any of that mint color. It looks just like it did out of the can. A little bit too early, I can see. So when it's a little bit early, when you go over the other color, you get like a little wobble because it flows and moves a little bit. So I'm trying to do like a decently fast video, and we're going to end up probably having to slow down. See, if we were striping out in the wild, I'd be striping something else right now while I'm waiting for this to get ready for the next color. right? Because you can't just be piling color on top of color. You end up getting a big mess going on. So I'm trying to slow myself down now. Kind of watching the paint to see what it's doing. Okay, let's do it. Make sure I don't touch the other parts. Yeah, I can really see in certain spots we shouldn't be doing this. That's why I'm trying to go really, really thin, because then it won't really affect it. See, that's already looking super cool though. So I want to do some kind of like a not so diamond here. Now understand that this is actually happening here in the middle to try to fool your eye, because I started off not so straight. And these are the little things that you'll end up doing as you get better and better. There's only so much your brain can take in one shot, right? So if you learn how to really kind of drop in subtly, some little features, you'll essentially learn how to cover up some mistakes. What was it, that one guy on the painting shows always talked about happy accidents. You know, and when you're not yelling out, "Oh crap," nobody really knows like that you're messing up, you know? So the whole point is you just keep it moving. It's like life, right? You just keep it moving. And look how cool that's starting to look. Really, really giving you a cool center. I realize that you have an angle where you get almost too much reflection. So let me try moving in a little bit more. Maybe over here you'll get some good shots. It's probably a pretty bad camera angle, I guess, today. And that's the thing, see? We learn. Everything we do, we learn some more. So hopefully this will give you some cool vibes as far as striping. We're doing really, really thin lines down here. Maybe on camera it doesn't look like it. Man, these are thin. I'm a little bit worried about going over this one. That's how thin they are. And again, I have it hot as heck in here. So, it's not really conducive to a nice flowy paint. But I have a decent amount of chroma flow in there. And there we go. Now I'm like, can we move it back? Sorry, I'm doing my own camera work. Oh, it's a little jumpy. I want to do a little bit up in this area. I need some flow. I think I also have my split units blowing right in the direction where I am, so I'm pretty sure that this paint is feeling it at this point. What should we do right here? Let's just do something small and easy. You just need that separation, that little bit of a pop right there, right? What's that? Grab some drop like a dots. Okay. That's looking pretty wicked. I think I'm going to pull up the camera and show you. That's pretty much it. As far as another Sunday morning jam session, let's see if I can zoom out and give you a pretty decent view here. Maybe without so much glare. Yeah, look how cool that looks. That's pretty cool. Oh, there's that shine again. How's that? A little bit jumpy, but look at that. Cool beans, right? Awesome, guys. Thanks.